Hi, I'm Johnny from ultimatepapermache.com, and I just got done putting the paper mache and paper mache clay on the bear mask. And while I was doing it, I came up with this really cool tool. I'm only using one hand, but I'm making air quotes here. Because the tool is made out of tinfoil, and I'm using it to make fur. I've never done this before. It just kind of came to me this morning. I was intending to use other tools like regular sculpting tools to kind of move some paper mache clay around and put the fur on the bear. And it just wasn't working right. I wanted it to be curvier. I just wanted it to be different. So I got a piece of foil out. It's just, it's just a piece of foil that I folded and made it real crisp edge, really sharp edge, and then just kind of curved it and just started using it very gently, pushing it into the clay after getting it wet. It has to be wet, doesn't work any other way. And it's just making this really cool fur marks on there. I hope you can see that. I just think it's really cool. You could use this for a lot of different kinds of animals. I did have a video out already on how to make fur out of paper mache clay for the tiger, but I like this way so much better. So let me show you how I did it. There's a section that is at the back of the real furry parts, just right below the ear, that isn't going to get a whole lot of attention, so I thought that would be a good spot for me to kind of play with different tools to see how to make the fur that I wanted. And I did try using some normal sculpting tools first. They were too straight. I just didn't like the way it was looking. So I went into the kitchen and found myself some foil and made myself a nice curved blade, really, really thin. And that worked really nice. I went ahead and did the whole back area of that rough and let it dry. It does lose a little bit of the definition when it dries because paper mache clay will shrink a little bit, and you always really, really fine details are going to get softened just a little bit when it dries, but not much. Actually, it's still showing really well. And then I moved to the front. I'm still putting on a very thin amount of the paper mache clay, and I'm trying to add some definition every once in a while. I'm pushing the tool a little further in and kind of squishing the clay around just a little bit to give us some definition, as if there were clumps of fur, not just straight hairs all lined up or anything, but make it a little bit wild and a little bit more textured by just playing around with the way the tool works with the clay. It took a long time because of the drying time, but other than that, it really didn't take nearly as long as I would have expected, considering how much texture is on here. I'm definitely going to be doing this again. He's still a little wet, so I still have to be a little careful with him, but hopefully you can see here the top of his muzzle has real short hairs. Then they've got the kind of wild fur along the sides, all along the eyebrows, and a whole bunch of fur in his ear, of course. That little clump of fur in his ears is going to mean that I have to let him sit for probably 2 days to completely dry. Everything else has a really thin layer, so it's really light, but I wanted him to have extra fur in the ears, so I got a little carried away. I think this could be used like for most kinds of dogs, lions, wolves, just about any kind of animal that has fairly rough fur. So make yourself a tool. Aluminum foil, that's all it is. Really thin. I did find out that after using it for a while, I had to make myself another one because it got a little bit too crumpled and a little bit too flat on one, on the edge. So it wasn't giving me a nice crisp, sharp line that I wanted. But this is just a couple of square inches of foil, so it's no big deal. So let me know what you think about this idea. I will have the bear painted hopefully in a couple of days as soon as those ears get dry, and then I can find out what it's going to look like, and I'll put the pattern itself up on my website. If you want to make a bear using my pattern, keep your eye out for that next video, and in the meantime, go make something and come visit me, ultimatepapermache.com. I'll see you there.